according to a recent study, over 70%, I mean more than 70% of English language learners, they face this problem, they experience this problem. They say that when it comes to speaking, I feel like my mind goes blank. I fumble, I get nervous, and ultimately I'm not able to express myself clearly and fluently. Now, if you think that yes, this is what exactly is happening with me, and I have been also struggling with the same problem, then I would say that you are not alone. Because the research study has already proven this, that more than 70% people, more than 70% of English language learners, the people like you, the people like me, they are facing this problem, right? And if I talk about myself, then I have been practicing grammar for a long time. And even after practicing grammar for a long time, I also experienced this problem. I don't want to hide it, because the grammar study has not made me fluent. What made me fluent? That is my practice, speaking, reading, listening, repetition. So I'll talk in details in some other videos. So today in this video, I'm going to address this particular problem. Why does this happen? What are the most common 5 reasons behind it? And how you can prevent your mind from going blank when it comes to speaking in English. So let's understand what are the 5 most common reasons one by one. Let's understand. The reason number 1 is your lack of practice. What do I mean by this? Understand that when we are speaking in a language, when we are speaking in any language, we feel like that we are just speaking. We feel like that. But actually, if you observe yourself very carefully, if you notice yourself very carefully, you'll see that it is not only speaking. I'm using this word only very carefully, by the way. We are not only speaking. There are a lot of things working behind the scenes. Our brain has to process a lot of things behind that speaking to produce that speaking, right? Number 1, if you see that it has to process what you want to say, how you want to say it, how to construct the sentences, how to frame the sentences, how to choose the vocabulary, so express what you want to say, how to pronounce each and every word so that you can sound better. So these are all things your brain has to process subconsciously at the same time of your speaking. Then you get the outcome that is just speaking, the better speaking, the fluency. But if you are not habituated, to process all these things subconsciously at the same time of your speaking, it's very common for your brain to get overloaded. And as a result of it, your mind goes blank. You feel like that nothing is coming in my mind. You feel nervous, you feel confused, and ultimately you are stuck. So that's where the level of practice that comes into action. That is why one of the most common reason, that is your lack of practice. The reason number 2 is the fear of making mistake. I can remember a very powerful quotation of Albert Einstein. You might have heard this name. He is a very famous German scientist. He once said that the person who never made a mistake, never tried anything new. We all know that whenever we try something new, whenever you try something new, you learn something new, you experience something new, you learn something new, it's very common that you make some mistake. We make some mistakes. It's a very common thing. There's nothing wrong in that. There is no harm in that. Similarly, when you are speaking in a language, when you are speaking in a newly learned language, it is obvious that you will make some mistake. Making mistake is a part of the process that will help you to improve. But when you are already afraid of making mistake, you are already scared of making mistake, the reason might be different. The reason might be a variety of reasons. Like You feel like that the person you will talk to, that person knows better than you or has better fluency than you, or maybe where you are going, that environment is different, that person might judge you, or you feel like that your pronunciation is not good, your construction is not good, maybe you have like a little insecurity about your grammar. So these all things, it works in your mind and you feel like that you might make mistake. That is the insecurity that works in your mind, and you get scared, already get scared about these all things. So that time it is very easy for your brain, very easy for your mind to get nervous, and when you are already nervous, you get confused, and when you are confused, you lose focus on your speaking, and as a result of it, you feel like that my mind goes blank. I'm stuck, I'm not able to speak, because my mind is already involved in thinking that I might make mistake, I might make some mistake in pronunciation, I might make some mistake in structure, and in many other things, that lots of things comes in your mind, and that all take your attention away from your speaking, and that's the moment you feel mind blank. So the fear of making mistake, is one of the most common reasons that can lead you towards mind blank. The reason number 3 is your habit of translation. What do I mean by this? Just imagine for a moment that you are running a race, you are in a competition, and you are running that race without any load, without any heavy backpack. So it is very easy for you to run that race at your optimum speed, with your optimum speed. It is very easy for you. But the moment if I say that you have to run this race with a heavy backpack with you, with a heavy load with you, then you think that can you run the race with the same speed as you ran without heavy backpack? Think about it. No, it is not possible. You cannot run the race with that heavy backpack at the same speed as you ran without the heavy backpack, right? Similarly, when you are speaking in English, knowingly or unknowingly, due to lack of enough exposure, understand very carefully, due to lack of enough exposure to the language, you keep translating the sentences from your native language to English, So you see that this is the translation process that goes on in your mind, in your brain. This is a very, very heavy process, by the way. It's something like you are running the race with a heavy backpack. It's something like you are speaking, taking the heavy backpack. That is your translation. So what do you do at the time of your speaking? You keep translating in the back of your mind from your native language to English language, and then you produce your speaking. And in this process, when your brain gets busy, your brain goes into translation mode. This is called translation mode. So when you translate and your brain gets involved in that process, and that's why sometimes you get slow, sometimes you get a little fast. And when you get slow, sometimes you are silent, you take pauses, you get sometimes like you feel like stuck, and ultimately in worst case scenario, what happens? You feel mind blank, that you feel like that nothing is coming from your mind, because sometimes you fail in translation, you don't get proper words, or sometimes you feel like that you are not getting the proper sentences after translation, or maybe facing problem in translation, and then you are unable to express yourself. So this is also one of the most common reasons that can cause your problem, that is your mind blank problem. So the habit of translation is one of the most common reasons that can make your mind blank. Even a study has found that this translation anxiety, this translation cycle, can also lead to some other problems. You might face the grammatical problem. You might make lots of grammar mistakes because your mind is already busy, already involved in translation process. The reason number 4 is your lack of vocabulary. Let's understand this with the help of an analogy. Suppose you want to build a house. So what do you need? Definitely you need bricks. You need enough bricks. Not only bricks, you need enough bricks. But just imagine that you don't have enough bricks. What will happen? The simple thing, that you will not be able to complete the house. You can build the house, but it will be incomplete. You will not be able to build the house completely, right? Similarly, when you are speaking a language, when you are speaking in any language, it might be Bengali, Hindi, English, whatever it is. When you are speaking in a language, what do you need? You need a fair amount of vocabulary. I mean, the enough vocabulary words you need. But if you don't have enough vocabulary words, what will happen? You will not be able to complete the sentences. You will not be able to express your thoughts, your values, your information in a complete and proper way, the way you want to express it, right? So that is why sometimes when you are lacking the vocabulary words, you don't have enough vocabulary words, what happens? You just keep searching and thinking. You just keep thinking and searching the vocabulary words. And that's when there is a gap created between your speaking and your searching. And that's where you feel like that I'm blank. My mind goes blank, because at that time your brain is involved in thinking and searching the proper word, the right word that you need to express that thoughts that you want to express, right? So that is why you feel like that my mind goes blank, I'm not able to speak, I am stuck, I'm not getting what to say, I'm not getting how to say, and that time you become silent, you are stuck, you get confused. No matter how much good thought you have, if you don't have the bricks, the vocabulary words, you will obviously face this problem and you will go blank. That is for sure. That's why the lack of vocabulary words, this is also a very important reason why your mind goes blank. The reason number 5 is your mindset and your attitude. Let's break it down. What do I mean by mindset? Mindset means your beliefs that you have ingrained within yourself about your capabilities, about your qualities. That is your mindset. So there are two types of mindsets. Number 1, that is fixed mindset. And number 2, that is called growth mindset. So those who are fixed mindset people, they feel like, they believe that whatever qualities, whatever capabilities I have, I cannot change it to a certain extent. We cannot change it that much. It will be as it is. Okay? But the second mindset, that is growth mindset, the people, those who are growth mindset people, they believe, they feel like that no, we can change our capabilities, we can develop our capabilities with the help of effort, with the help of practice, and we can develop ourselves. On the other hand, if you see, that is your attitude, how you feel and look at something, that is what is your attitude. Here you see, if you have the good attitude, the growth attitude, that attitude you have, that your learner attitude, lifelong learner attitude, you feel like that learning a language and becoming fluent in a language is a journey. We can enjoy that journey with the help of practice, repeated practice. At the same time, the patience, the effort, if we put in, definitely will get the result and will be succeed. So that's what your attitude should be towards learning, towards improving this language. So that is why I say that you need to have a growth mindset. At the same time, a good positive attitude towards mastering this language, so that you can move forward, you can speak this language, you can achieve this language with confidence, with proper flow. But if you don't have that growth mindset, and the positive attitude towards learning, towards mastering this language, then that can be one of the reasons that your mind goes blank, because your mindset, your attitude is not supporting you. It is dragging you from your back. And that is why your mind goes blank, and sometimes you feel like that you are not able to speak. You are stuck, you get stuck, you fumble, and ultimately you feel like that your mind goes blank. So your mindset and attitude also could be one of the most common reasons. So now I'm going to give you 6 very practical and effective steps to overcome these challenges. And I can assure you that if you follow these steps for 3 to 6 months consistently with patience, then you will definitely be able to overcome all these problems that you have, that is your mind blank. And your English speaking fluency, that will be improved significantly for sure. Step 1, practice regularly. Seriously, I'm saying practice regularly. The more you practice speaking, the reading, the listening, the repetition, the better and better you are going to be in that particular language, in speaking, in fluency. So practice regularly. Step number 2, expose yourself to English as much as possible. I repeat, expose yourself to English as much as possible. Whenever you get time, you just listen to English speaking. Your favorite YouTuber, your favorite movie, or your favorite audio or podcast, whatever it is, you just try to expose yourself to English speaking, English listening. Watch English movies, English subtitle, that is subtitle coming just at the bottom of the movie, so that subtitle you watch. At the same time you listen how they are speaking, because that will help you to learn the new vocabulary words and the new expression. Even you will get to learn how they are speaking, their construction, how they are framing the different ways the sentences. So these all things will be absorbed by your brain, and is only possible when you are exposing yourself to your English content. So never ever miss the exposure. That is the exposure, the most powerful thing that you can do to make yourself fluent. So expose yourself as much as possible. Step number 3. Don't be afraid, don't be scared of making mistake. I repeat, don't be afraid of making mistake. That the man who never made a mistake never tried anything new. So make mistake, accept yourself that yes, I am going to make mistake because I am a learner, I am learning, I want to improve myself. So let it happen. Whatever mistake comes, just make it, so that next time you don't need to make. Okay, because you're already making all the mistakes that you need to make. So accept this, that you are going to make mistake, and just take it very easily, very casually, no problem. Just try to learn, never forget, just try to learn from your mistake and try to improve yourself for further improvement. That is what should be your approach. Step number 4, try not to translate everything in your head. This is a very common problem. So don't just try to focus on translation in your head. So what you need to do is, you just need to focus on saying what you want to say. You just try to focus. Sometimes maybe it is not perfect, but it's okay. Try to focus on what you want to say, not to focus on translation in your head. Step number 5, break down your thoughts into smaller chunks. Why do I say so? Because when you break down your thoughts into smaller chunks, your brain can process all the information very easily and efficiently. At the same time, it can process all the information very fast, so that you can speak fluently without facing any problem. So break your thoughts down into smaller chunks while speaking. Step number 6, try to find a language partner. If you can find a language partner, then that is the best way you can speak and you can practice your speaking. But if you don't get any language partner, I know that is very difficult to get a language partner on a regular basis. So if you don't have any language partner like me, I don't have any language partner normally, so I make videos and sometimes I record myself on recorder, and then I listen to myself how I'm speaking, and then on the basis of that I review. So if you don't have any language partner, what you can do is you can record yourself with a recorder that is available in your phone. Then you can review yourself, how you are speaking, how you are doing pronunciation, how you are constructing the sentences, how is your sound. So everything you can observe it. Okay, so record yourself and then you review it, then you try to improve yourself. So these are the very practical and effective 6 steps that I follow to improve my English speaking. If you follow this for 3 to 6 months, I can assure you that your English speaking fluency will improve, and the problem that you have, that your mind goes blank, that problem will be fully vanish for sure. And keep this thing in your mind that with time and effort, if you keep practicing without giving up, if you keep focusing on your speaking, if you keep focusing on your improvement, you will definitely be able to speak this language fluently and flawlessly with confidence. I'll come back with more such videos, more such information, more such good guidance for your English speaking fluency. Till then, take care. Bye. But if you are not habituated, to process all these things, subconsciously at the same time of your speaking, sorry.